Hello and welcome to the news here on Magic Bricks Now, India's first property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. After Friday's all-party meeting, the Parliament got down to business today but did not discuss the real estate regulator bill. Meanwhile, home buyers have now taken their struggle to the Prime Minister. That's a Magic Bricks Now exclusive. A shop in Colaba Causeway just got cheaper. Yes, while globally retail rents have gone up, in South Mumbai's high streets, rentals have gone down. As 2015 draws to a close, we get you a roundup of what's trending, what's selling, and where should you put your money in the new year. Our special series, Realty Roundup, kicks off today with Bengaluru. Straight up, our top story, the real estate regulatory bill, which was not tabled for discussion in the Parliament today. This, despite Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu, who told Magic Bricks Now last week that a notice had been sent to table the bill for discussion on the 21st of December. Meanwhile, the home buyers are fighting for RERA and have escalated the fight. They've written to Prime Minister Modi asking him to intervene in the matter. My colleague Deepa Rana, who has been following the story closely, joins us now with all the details. Deepa, talk to us. What exclusive details do you have on you at the moment?
Despite repeated assurances from the government and the opposition leaders, the real estate regulator bill has not been tabled in the Parliament. What's more, it wasn't even listed in the business of the House of the Parliament. This is the reason why home buyers have now taken a step ahead and they have written a letter to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi asking for his intervention for the smooth passage of this bill. A copy of this letter is exclusively with Magic Bricks Now. This is the letter that the home buyers have written to the Prime Minister, urging and stressing that the real estate regulator bill is of prime importance and should be given prime importance, and a smooth passage is very important for this bill to be passed in this winter session only. Now they have written, and I quote, "A timely passage of an already approved bill is the duty of the government and the right of citizens of India. We hope you agree that a successful passing of the bill should be your duty irrespective of the opposition's take and behavior. This clearly and inevitably points to a lack of intent on the part of your government to pass the real estate regulator bill." They have also asked for a meeting with the Prime Minister. Now, earlier, if you recall, the Urban Development Minister and the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Venkaiah Naidu on our channel admitted and said that he has sent a notice for the bill to be listed in the business of the Parliament on Monday, 21st December. However, this bill wasn't even listed in the business of the Parliament today. Now, what we are hoping is that maybe in the last 3 days of the winter session, this bill is discussed in the Parliament. However, right now it seems very unlikely that real estate regulator bill will see the light of the day.
Thanks, Deepa, for that update. Now, moving on, home buyers have made a comeback and builders are going all out to woo them. A Pune-based builder has come out with a scheme that ensures the buyer only pays the amount at which the flat is sold and nothing else. Ruchi Deshpande tracks the Pune market and she is there getting us some more details. Ruchi, talk to us. What is this new scheme all about?
This new scheme has been approved by a Pune-based builder, which may act as an incentive for all the home buyers in Pune. The main attraction here is that the interest on your home loan will not be paid by the buyer, but will be paid by the builder to the financial consultant as a discount for the buyer. Now, let me just break it up for you. This loan will be paid at the rate of 9.75%. And just to give you an example, for in a normal scenario, if you have the cost of income, that is the price of your house, is about 50 lakh rupees, and if you pay the home loan for a tenure of about 20 years, you end up paying an EMI of roughly a little more than 37,000 per month, and your net amount, the net amount that you pay at the end of it, totals up to roughly 1 crore rupees. Whereas if you take this scheme, then the cost of income remains the same. Your tenure is reduced by from 20 years to 8.5 years, where you pay a slightly more EMI of 40,000 per month, and your net outgo is reduced to the cost or your principal amount, that is 50 lakh rupees. So essentially this is the scheme and this is how it works. When we spoke to the builder, they told us that there is a tripartite agreement between the builder, the buyer and the financial consultant, which will ensure that if the builder first of all won't default, and if he does, the security will be in charge of the financial consultant. But before you as a home buyer go in for this, like we tell you always at Magic Bricks now, please consult a lawyer and look at the fine print before going in for this.
Look at the fine print before going in for this is the word coming in from Ruchi Deshpande. Thank you so much for bringing us that report. Moving on to our special year-ender series, Realty Roundup. In this series, we track all the hot markets across India and tell you how they have fared in the last 1 year. We also tell you what areas you should be betting on. Today, we take a look at Bengaluru's residential market. How has the Silicon Valley of India performed when compared to the rest of the cities over the last 12 months? Amita Balachandra brings us all the details in this report all the way from Namma Bengaluru. Take a look.
2015 has not been a good year for residential real estate market across the country. In fact, the top 4 metros also saw a decline in sales over the last 1 year. And the story in Bengaluru is no different. But of course, experts believe that bad days have bottomed out. In fact, sales have started to pick up in key markets like Mumbai, Bengaluru and Hyderabad. In fact, Bengaluru's unsold inventory levels, which was at its peak the last quarter, has also started declining. So things are looking good. Of course, in the last 1 year, peripheral business districts like Whitefield and Sarjapur Road and areas like Banerghatta Road, Electronic City, KR Puram, all of these areas saw good demand when compared to the rest of the areas in Bengaluru. Also interestingly, secondary business districts, especially Outer Ring Road, is an emerging area when it comes to residential real estate market. Now, what's also important to note here is that these areas are IT concentrated areas, and the logic is pretty simple. Most of the IT companies are in these areas, and all of the people who work in these IT companies prefer to stay close to their workplace. So that's important to note here. Of course, the next 1 year, although recovery is going to be slow, experts believe that things are starting to look up, and its residential real estate market, of course, in Bengaluru is slowly crawling back to positive growth. In Bengaluru, with camera person Satish Shetty, Amita Balachandra for Magic Bricks Now.
And to give us more perspective on that, I have Ashutosh Limaye, Head of Research at JLL, joining us live here on Magic Bricks Now. Mr. Limaye, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us how, are Bengaluru's residential real estate prices, in the last 1 year, how has the market fared and how has Bengaluru fared when compared to the rest of the markets in India?
I think Bangalore happens to be one of those cities which have performed better. Residential overall in the national context hasn't done that well of late, but Bangalore has been doing well. Bangalore typically sees about 12,000 units getting launched every quarter. Typically sells around 6,000 odd units, and that has been constant. I think Bangalore's positives are they don't build too much speculatively. They are in very close touch with what end users demand, and hence we see a better alignment between the product offering and what the market wants from the developers. There was some time mid-year when Bangalore's unsold inventory crossed the 80,000 units mark, which was alarm to many because Bangalore hasn't seen that kind of unsold inventory before. But Bangalore is nimble-footed and got its act together in just few months and brought down that inventory to about 70,000 units level.
All right, Mr. Limaye, also tell us what are some of the emerging areas in Bengaluru and what are the key demand drivers over there?
Bangalore has multiple corridors and different areas in various directions which are emerging. I think all those areas which are feeding into the IT districts of Bangalore are doing well and have more promise for future development as well. The entire outer ring road ORR corridor, which is a very big IT district now, and the IT areas of Whitefield, are getting good residential demand as well. Areas such as Sarjapur Road, Old Madras Road, which are feeding into these areas, and the North Bangalore corridor, the Bellary Road corridor, are doing fairly good. The other corridors, Mysore Road, or in the south we have Kanakpura Road, Bannerghatta Road. On the northwest we have the Tumkur Road. All are doing fairly okay within their own segments.
All right, Mr. Limai, before we let you go, tell us, how do you see 2016 panning out for Bengaluru's residential market?
Bangalore, I think next year will continue to grow very sustainably. So in terms of price, we expect Bangalore to improve on its pricing by just 5 or 6%, so which is inflation plus a little bit of delta. And in terms of sales, I think we will continue to expect Bangalore to sell its average number that it has demonstrated in the past. I think Bangalore has responded well by bringing down the ticket size, by slightly lowering the total apartment size, and the new launches have been at a very competitive price and seeing good response from the market. So next year also, I think Bangalore should continue to lead the overall Indian residential market in terms of giving a very sustainable price appreciation and a very healthy sales velocity.
In the battle of India's hottest shopping destinations, South Mumbai's storied high streets are losing out. Colaba, Kemp's Corner, Fort, you name it, rentals are down. This is when globally and in India, high street rentals have moved north. Aishwarya Paliwal sent us a report earlier today. Take a look.
This is the place where Mumbaikars come when they want to shop. This is also the place where most of the retail brands want to have at least one outlet. This is Colaba Causeway. But it looks like Colaba Causeway has lost its sheen in the past 1 year. According to a latest report by Cushman & Wakefield, retail rentals in Colaba Causeway have gone down by 14% in the past 1 year. Not just this, other places in South Mumbai like Kemp's Corner and Flora and Fountain area have seen their retail rentals go down by 11 and 6% respectively. Now, one of the major reasons why we are seeing this dip in retail rentals in South Mumbai's hotspots is because of poor infrastructure and lack of basic amenities. Now, these lack of basic amenities make it very difficult for people who rent these places as well as for shoppers to come here and shop. Interestingly, in the Delhi NCR region, Khan Market has bucked this trend. In the last year's report, Khan Market stood at number 26. In this year, it has come up 2 notches. Today, it's standing at number 24. Connaught Place, it comes second to Khan Market when it comes to retail rentals. So it seems pretty clear that if Mumbai and the hotspots in Mumbai want to retain their spot when it comes to retail rentals, they will have to surely revamp themselves.
Shifting focus now to our special series, War of the Cities. As we know, 85 out of 98 cities have submitted their proposals to the centre in the race up to the top 20. Who will be in and who will be out? As we wait for the top 20 list to be released, we at Magic Bricks now look at each of the cities who have submitted their proposals. Today, we take a look at Raipur in Chhattisgarh. My colleague Suesha Sawant has his report on what Raipur is doing to get that coveted smart tag.
In the war of smart cities, Raipur has gone full throttle to fight and make it to the list of the top 20 cities. Now, the population of the city is nearly 10.5 lakhs. Several suggestions had been poured in by the citizens for the smart city proposal, which included broader roads, better parking facilities, increased water supply, better waste management, having more public toilets, installing solar plants and going digital for a lot of local issues that happen in the city. When I spoke with the authorities, they said that they tried to incorporate most of these suggestions and the budget for this will be nearly 2,400 crores.
And to give us more perspective on that, I have on the phone line with me Saransh Mittar, the Municipal Commissioner of Raipur. Saransh, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, tell us, what are your plans for making Raipur a smart city? What are some of the key focus areas?
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Krishna. Raipur, being the largest urban agglomeration in the state of Chhattisgarh, has a great potential for being transformed into a smart city. It will have a direct impact on about 1.5 million people here. And our key focus areas in our smart city plan have been, the priority has been reducing the vehicular congestion on the roads by having smart traffic solutions and parking. We are focusing on reducing carbon print of the city by transferring all the street lights fixtures into LEDs. We'll focus on increased walkability in the city by having pedestrian-friendly pathways, then creating recreational hubs, activity centers at various lakes in the city. And we'll also focus on delivering basic services like property tax payments, birth, death certificates, marriage certificates through e-solutions.
All right, area-based development and pan-city proposals are the key criterions for this round of smart cities. Tell us, what are you doing on that front?
We are done with these area-based development proposals, selection and pan-city proposals. And ABD is basically a city within a city, a model which can be replicated as a model for rest of the city. So we have selected about 750 acres of Raipur, which is the central part of the city. And the key focus area, which I've told you earlier, will be the primary areas which we will be working in the area-based development also. And in pan-city proposals, that is the thing which will have an impact on whole of the city. So we are focusing on traffic management, smart traffic solution, parkings. So it will have a direct impact on the whole population of the Raipur.
Also tell us, what kind of investment is Raipur putting into this as a whole?
Though a lot of work is going on, but in our smart city plan, the approximate budget is around 2,400 crores. So we are harnessing modalities such as public-private partnership and convergence with other Government of India, Government of State schemes also, so that the resources can be effectively utilized. So some commercial projects, including some old markets, they can be transformed, and the new spaces which will be created can be monetized.
All right, and what are the plans when it comes to housing? Real estate, of course, is pivotal for these cities' development, isn't it?
Yes. And real estate is always important in the city, especially nowadays with a lot of migration is happening. So under smart city, this is basically an umbrella under which various component schemes of government like housing for all will be converged. So it will aim at providing affordable housing to the economically weaker and moderate sections of the society. Areas have been identified which will be transformed, land will be better utilized, private partners will also be harnessed in, and the excess land can be monetized depending upon the locations of the projects, and the projects will be made viable.
All right, Saransh, before I let you go, you have submitted your proposal to the centre. How hopeful are you of winning the race?
Yes, we have submitted our smart city proposal and we are very optimistic about its selection and we are very hopeful.
Saransh Smith, the Municipal Commissioner of Raipur in Chhattisgarh, thank you so much for being with us here on the news on Magic Bricks Now. It's the war of the smart cities, and it has begun.
New Town Kolkata is already smart, but what we are planning to do under the Smart City program is to make it smarter.
Who's chosen? Who's not?
In order to make it to the list of top 20 smart cities, Vadodara has taken a dual approach.
Proposal is ready and now we are in readiness to submit before the Ministry of Urban Development.
Who will become smart and who's out?
World standard healthcare facilities and educational institutions we are focusing in this smart city project.
The architects of India's biggest urban revolution speak exclusively to India's first property business channel.
It is clearly a war of the cities.
Magic Bricks Now. Now, are you an avid reader? Have you always wanted to get a quirky book cover for your favorite paperback? If you said yes, then this one is for you. Design it yourselves. Akash Berry tells you how you can make a book cover using your old denim jeans. Take a look.
So for this, you'll need a few pair of denims, जो आप फेंकने वाले हैं या फिर किसी और को देने वाले हैं. And you'll need scissors, some decorative buttons, decorative patches, colored ribbon, acrylic paint, and your old diary. Now, take your old denims, and cut it in the shape of your diary from all the sides. Just remember, on all the sides, leave 1 inch of margin. You have cut off the patch in the shape and size of the diary. Place the diary in the middle and then fold the patch from all the sides. Now, take glue and put it on the edge. All the edges. Make sure to use good amount of glue so that the grip or the hold is firm. Now once you fold it, press hard or maybe use some weight. As I said, इससे grip थोड़ी firm रहेगी. एक बार आपने हर तरफ से पैच चिपका दिया, then you can use these buttons, patches and ribbon to decorate it. And once you're done with that, your denim book cover is gonna look like this. This is your same old diary with this fancy denim book cover. और pocket को छोड़ने का फायदा ये है, it can be used to keep your pens, pencils and other stationery items. So now, get ready to flaunt your fancy and stylish denim book cover.
And with that, we've completely run out of time here on the show. But remember, if you have any feedback or suggestions for us, write to us on the email IDs flashing on your screens. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, so feel free to tweet to us or post your query on our Facebook page. We would absolutely love to hear from you. Also, remember to check out our website, www.mbnow.in. There's live streaming on it as well. And with that, it's a wrap here on this edition of the news on Magic Breaks Now. Thank you for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.